Good evening. This is the Connected Dot Show. I am Lou Icewater. Also, I'm LHJR and I'm Duquan Hicks. So let's get in the mix. First, I want to talk about the shooter in Georgia. Um, First of all, like I said before, let's my condolences to the families that lost their loved ones, lost their kids. It shouldn't have happened, first of all. So, number two, this kid was 14 years old that was doing the shooting. So, number one, where did he get the weapon? Number two, how did he get into school with a weapon? I thought all these schools supposed to have metal detectors. So, that's a black eye on the school because they are supposed to have, especially a high school, so supposed to have metal detectors with all the high school stuff that's going on around the country. Stop thinking that this is my town. It ain't going to happen. Oh, it's not going to happen here. That's the problem. We get too comfortable thinking that it's not going to happen in your town and your city or your county, and then it happens. Every high school, every school in America should have a metal detector. Period. There's no if, ands, buts about it. Period. And this kid needs to be tried as an adult, not no minor, as an adult. When you kill kids, like I said before, when you take out kids, that's down. I don't care what you. I don't care if you're 12, whatever. No, you get tried as an adult because you knew what you was doing. I don't want to hear people say he was sick, he was mental. No, I'm not buying it. Because how'd he get a gun? How'd he know how to shoot the gun? He wasn't that sick if he knew where to get the gun, know how to get the gun. He knew where he was going and did all that. I'm not trying to hear that. If he was, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hear. You got to think of what I just said. That's why I know. No, I'm not trying to hear that. Everybody's using these things as an excuse. And we can't keep letting me. You have to start making examples out of people that kill kids. Because that's a no in my book. It's a no in my book. Sorry, I can't. I can't. When you kill kids, it's a no. Period. A no. So let's talk about offering help, and it becomes an excuse. I know a lot of people. I don't even have to say anything. I'm looking at your hands. You see that? How many of you have offered help to people, and then they wanted help, you offered help, and then they refused to follow your advice for help? How many times? What's the sense? Are you trying to play me? Are you trying to, check my temperature? You trying to see how I move? I mean, that's stupid. Like, if you need help and I'm able to help you, take the help. Don't be, playing around like this is the match game. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. I don't understand why people do that, especially black men. A lot of black men do this game. It's a game that we do. I don't know why we do it, but we do it a lot. Because the reason why I say black men, because we're afraid to ask for help. Number one, we're afraid to ask our homeboy. We're afraid to ask our kids, and we're definitely afraid to ask the girl we with. You know why? Because of our pride. We don't want them to think that daddy can't do this, or my man ain't this, or he ain't that. You know what I mean? So with us, we do it the most because we have the most pride. So it's even hard for us to ask our own homeboy because you're afraid your homeboy might put your business on blast, offering for help. But it's crazy how help becomes an excuse. You know what I mean? Like this phrase, yo, I got a lot on my plate. Stay away from people that say they got a lot on their plate. Matter of fact, if you're saying that right now in your head, leave this podcast. Get off the podcast. There's certain things I'm not allowing. That I'm not allowing. If you say, I got a lot on my plate, come on. You don't have to say it. We can see that you got a lot on your plate. Why people got to say it? You know what I mean? So if you're saying that, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I want people, this podcast is about learning, inspiring, and making people strong. And I also say the things that you think that you want to say, but I'm going to say it for you. That's why we call it connect the dots. I'm connecting with you, the dots, so we can see how we can change and make things better for what it is. But in order to do that, I have to be direct. So I'm a direct guy. I'm gonna be direct about things. That's how we do on this podcast. It's all about direction and protection. You know what I'm saying? Give it out infection. You digs? So I hate when people say this phrase too. You've ever heard this phrase before? It's beneath me. It's beneath me. And I'll give you an example. One of your friends is getting ready to go somewhere. Doesn't have a car. So somebody was supposed to come pick him up. He wasn't ready, so that person left. So you can still get there by bus and train. But people say, nah, I ain't riding the bus. Freak that. I ain't riding the train. Or I ain't riding the school bus. I'm like, what? It's beneath me to ride the bus, the train. I don't want to be seen. I mean, come on, really? We all was not born with silver spoons in our mouth. So why do we act like that? Why do we act like we got silver spoons in our mouth? Why do we act like we've been rich the whole time when we haven't? Sometimes I think most of us, I don't care what we do, most of us need to take our kids on a public transportation so they can see and feel how it is to go through riding the train to get to work, riding the bus to get to work. Park your car, ride and ride back. Let them see and feel the moment. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. You can have a car and your car can break down tomorrow, God forbid. Then how you going to get there? You're going to Uber? But what if you don't have enough money for Uber? Then you catch that train and bus, right? So all I'm saying is never say it's beneath you to do anything, even cleaning the toilet. First of all, you should want your toilets clean. Number one, that's the first step. But it ain't never beneath you to do anything. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't say that. And I'm getting tired of us saying that phrase. It's beneath me. I have a lot on my plate. Those phrases, I'm tired of hearing that. I know you tired. I'm tired of that. Got to come up with better catchphrases than that. You know what I mean? That's what all I'm saying. So finally, let's talk about Nostradamus. Philosopher or prophet, whatever you want to call it. French. He was one of these guys that predicted the future, predicted what will happen in the future. Now, I noticed something with European culture. They have a lot of guys that they talk about, but they forget to talk about Nostradamus. They talk about Picasso. They talk about Van Gogh. They even talk about Napoleon. Don't know why. But when it comes to this guy, Nostradamus, seems like they leave him right here. This guy was really brilliant at the stuff that he did. If you've never heard of this guy, then you need to go to the library. Oh, did I say something? The library, yes, go to the library. You know, that building, you know, when you walk in and it has books in it. The library, that's right. The library. Go to the library and research this dude. Research him. Also, use your best friend. The phone. Your phone is your best friend. Use him. And Google Nostradamus. And you'll be amazed at what this guy has done. You'll be amazed at the things he thought about back in the day. And it made me wonder, like, did God give this guy the power to do this? Or did this guy have books about what was going to happen? Because people wrote back in the day too. And he was just philosophizing stuff that he read in books. Because people like to do tricks too. You know what I'm saying? So that's something very interesting to look at. Nostradamus. Please check that out, because we learned about this in junior high school, but they don't, and when I was coming up, now they don't want you to know anything about people that did this or did that. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the funny thing. My daughter thought that Steve Harvey never had hair. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? She, you know, that's the day and age. She thought he was bald. I was like, nah, he had hair. He had hair. So it's just kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that we need to talk about is the things that's going on in space is being left out. That these, astronauts, they were stuck in space for a long time, and they're trying to get them down because of the stuff they go doing up there, experimenting, seeing what's going on. It's just crazy because back in the day, space was really something. Now it's a forgotten thing that's happening. You know what I'm saying? I think, when NASA, when they had the space shuttle, when it blew up, and a lot of people still don't know about the space shuttle. Google that, go to your library and see how that happened. But space used to be something great. Remember when the man walked on Mars for the first time, it was something. When the space shuttle went up there with 7 different people, it was something. And they were in the moon playing. Now you talk about space, people are like, I don't care. I'm gonna go to X. I'm gonna go to Twitter. I'm gonna go to, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Like, all this stuff is happening before your eyes, and you're not even realizing what's going on. Same thing with Saturn. Don't you know they're gonna lose their rings in 6 months? Yeah, so it won't be no more rings around Saturn in 6 months. So I wonder how that's gonna look. So just think about the things that's happening in space that we really need to check up on. Besides satellite, what's going on with, what I mean? There's other stuff that's going on. I want you to do research, because I'm a researcher myself. I'm just throwing this out there to you guys, because I don't never hear nobody at work talk about, yo, guess what? This happened in space. This happened in space. All you want to talk about is what happened at the cookout. That dude got knocked out, or brother man got shot down the street. But we never talk about what's going on in space. So let's start taking a peep at what's going on in space, man. It's a lot of interesting things. So anyway, like I said, my name is Lou Hicks, Mockups, as we call it. This is Connected Dots. I'm giving you everything that you need to know and stuff that you need to think about for the mind, body, and soul. Continue blessings. 1.